Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. LPCN just filed an 8, and I am seeing important updates on their clinical trial data. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. Lipocine presented some promising phase 3 clinical data that could be a big deal for postpartum depression treatment. Today we are looking at Lipocine Incorporated, or LPCN, and their latest filing, which is a current report on Form 8. This kind of report is used to announce major events that shareholders should know about. The main event here happened on May 26, 2026. This is when the company presented crucial data from their phase 3 clinical trial for a drug called LPCN 1154. Lipocine Inc. is a biotechnology company focused on developing new medicines. They are a smaller company with a market cap around $19 million and just 14 employees, which means news like this can have a significant impact. This particular trial is evaluating LPCN 1154, which is also known as oral brexanolone, for treating postpartum depression, often called PPD. The company presented this data at the American Society of Clinical Psychopharmacology annual meeting. The presentation and the poster summarizing the results are included as exhibits in this filing, which means they are officially part of the public record. The presentation itself shared findings from a placebo-controlled phase 3 trial, which is a very important step in drug development. This tells us they are comparing their drug against a dummy treatment to see if it truly works and is safe. The title of the presentation highlights that LPCN 1154 is a novel oral rapid-acting neuroactive steroid, suggesting it works quickly and targets a specific biological pathway related to mood disorders. This is exciting because postpartum depression is a serious condition affecting many new mothers, and new treatment options are always welcome. The fact that they completed a phase 3 trial means they have gathered a substantial amount of data aiming to prove the drug's effectiveness and safety. Now, while this filing doesn't contain detailed financial tables for us to dissect in this report, the real story here is the clinical trial data. Positive results from a phase 3 trial can be a major catalyst for a biotechnology company. It moves them closer to seeking approval from regulatory bodies like the Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, which is the gateway to bringing a drug to market. Looking at the broader context for Lipocine, they have had some ups and downs recently. There was a report earlier this year about a phase 3 trial missing its endpoint, which caused their stock to drop. However, we also saw their CEO Mahesh V. Patel acquire more shares around that time, which can sometimes signal confidence from leadership. Lipocine's common stock is traded on the Nasdaq under the ticker symbol LPCN. This is where investors can buy and sell shares of the company. Today's news about the clinical data, if positive, could significantly affect the stock price. The implications of this data are huge for Lipocine. If LPCN 1154 proves to be effective and safe in this PPD trial, it could lead to a new revenue stream that dramatically changes the company's financial outlook. The market for treatments for postpartum depression is significant, and a successful oral medication could capture a substantial share. The presentation on May 26, 2026 is a testament to the company's ongoing efforts in clinical research. For a small company like Lipocine, a successful phase 3 trial is often the most critical hurdle to overcome on the path to becoming a commercial pharmaceutical company. The risk I am watching is how regulators will view this specific neuroactive steroid for PPD, and how it stacks up against existing or potential competitors. What I am actually looking for is the detailed readout of the phase 3 data, which will likely be presented in more depth in future filings or scientific publications to fully understand the drug's profile. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps. And subscribe for more deep dives. Check out the Discord in the description.